Welcome to the Joy School Podcast. Real talk about what it takes to create your happiest, healthiest, and most dynamic life. And now, here's your host, transformational life coach, happiness strategist, and best-selling author, Christy Ling Spencer.
Well, hello, friends. I am so glad that you're here with me for another episode of the show. Welcome. I am recording this on the most beautiful day. Oh my gosh, the sun is out. The air smells like spring and summer all at once. And there is the most gorgeous breeze out. It is perfection. On days like this, I really like to move my mobile office outside when I can, which I highly recommend if you're able to do that. Not everybody can, but if you can, step outside with that computer, find a cozy place to sit and do your work in nature. And if you're in an office, take a few minutes to step outside during the day, take a break and actually get some fresh air. It really can bring you a ton of energy and it feels so good. All right. So William James said, "The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another." I believe this to be absolutely true. And I would add to it that other effective weapons include our ability to choose our actions and our ability to create habits that support us in all areas of our lives, including managing stress and tough times. And so this is what we're going to be talking about on today's show. But before I dive into this topic, I want to share with you a very special announcement. It is big. So for the past few months, I have been working on something huge and super exciting. It's been a massive undertaking, but so much fun and so worth the effort. So as I navigated the pandemic, I was looking at all that was going on in the world for everyone. And it was such a roller coaster of emotions and life shifts and big realizations for so many people. And people were looking at their lives closely, some for the first time in a long while, and many realized that what they were currently living was not what they truly wanted. They realized that their soul was called in different directions, but then there were so many people that was like, I know my soul is being called in a different direction, but I don't really know exactly what that direction is or what steps I need to take to get clear on that, or how to create the life I want, right? Kind of left with, I'm not really sure what I want, but I know I don't want this, that kind of feeling. I've been there before. Maybe you can relate. So many were really struggling and still are to stay grounded, create their happiness, to get ahead and to get clear on what they really want, right? I saw so many people who were facing incredibly difficult challenges. And what I didn't see was very many really solid resources to turn to for support. There's just so much information and overwhelm online, and so much of the good stuff is all scattered around and getting drowned out by a bunch of the confusing mess, right? Yeah, I think we can all definitely relate to that one. You know, you're trying to find one resource online and you're just bombarded with all this other stuff to sift through. And with all the stress and anxiety and overwhelm people are still going through as a result of all the shifts in recent years, in addition to the challenges of everyday life, right, which we all have, things are still really difficult for a lot of people. And not just that, so many more are feeling like they're settling into mediocrity, that they're doing okay, but not really unhappy and not really happy either. I can relate to that one so much. I was there for a long time myself until I finally changed my life. And many of you have heard that story. And so with the times we're in, I thought there needs to be a membership, a supportive all-in-one resource with everything in one place that could support people in getting clear and creating their best lives on a consistent basis, to learn all the skills involved in creating happiness, success, wellness, and emotional fitness. I love that term emotional fitness, by the way. Many of you have probably heard me use that before. It's so on point, right? And it's a great fit here because people have told me that what I'm actually getting ready to launch is like a gym membership for the soul and creating our best lives. And I love that concept. And so I'm so excited to share with you all that this summer I'm launching a new membership program unlike any other out there, and it will do all the things. All my best teachings in one place, all my best resources and favorite tools for creating our best life, creating joy, creating happiness, and feeling good, all in one place. Plus a ton of links and resources to support your success, well-being, relationships, personal peace, and yes, emotional fitness. And can you guess what it's called? It's called the Joy School. What else would it be called, right? So I am so excited about this. Can you tell? And the doors will be opening very soon. So you can head over to jointhejoyschool.com to get all the details of everything you would get as a member, which is so much. And while you're there, you can jump on the VIP wait list to be the first to know when the doors open. I can't even begin to tell you how much value this program is going to offer. I am making sure of that. This is so important to me. I basically designed my dream program. Like, what would I have wanted when I was navigating all the changes I wanted to create in my life that took me years to create? And these things took me years to discover, and also filtering out what works and what doesn't, right? That took years to create the change that I want to help you all create in a short time and continue creating on a consistent and powerful basis. And it's going to be ridiculously low priced for all that it offers, which was my goal really, because I want this life-changing membership to be accessible to as many people that it can help as possible. So inside, there are going to be video classes, audios, beautiful worksheets. I like to call them inspiration sheets, and they are gorgeous. A daily edit sheet for creating amazing days, coaching with me, a huge library of resources and supportive content, and tons of other amazing stuff. And we'll be covering a fresh new life-enhancing topic every month within the membership. I am so excited to share this with you all. I just can't even hold it back anymore. It's probably even a little bit early to be announcing it, but that waiting list is there for you and the doors will be opening soon. So I encourage you to jump over to jointhejoyschool.com, put your name in to be the first to hear about it so that I can share with you all the details. And by the way, there's going to be a free welcome bonus gift that is so awesome. I'm so excited about it. That is actually going to come in the snail mail, in the actual snail mail when the doors open. When you sign up, you will get a package in the mail with amazing goodies in it that I'm so excited about. So this is just for the first batch of new members. And it's a care package that will be packed with a signed copy of my book and some other really great stuff. There's more details when you sign up. But I wanted something to come in the snail mail because that is a lost art nowadays. And we all like to get something great in the mail besides bills, right? So I wanted that to be part of my welcome to you when you join this membership. So while you're over at jointhejoyschool.com, jump on that VIP waiting list, and you'll also get to download my online class free, 11 Habits of the Happiest People. So that'll get you started. So it really is a win-win. So jump over there and join me. I hope you will. I'm so excited. And thank you for letting me share this with you. I really appreciate it. This is going to be an incredible life-changing experience that we're creating. And I just can't say enough good things about it. Every time I go in and look at what's happening in there and how it's coming to life, I just get so excited. It's really a no-brainer. It is so, so good. Jointhejoyschool.com. All right. So thank you again for letting me share. And with that, let's jump into today's topic. If you know my work, you know that I really like to keep things real. And I really believe that part of creating our best lives and being as happy as we can be is really a squiggly path, right? Part of creating all that is being able to navigate unexpected obstacles. Things are not always a straight line and it's not all easy. And as all of us who are connected to this podcast know, it takes work. That is the theme of everything. All things in life that are amazing take work. Even people who have done a ton of inner work and really understand many of the methods involved in creating a happy, dynamic life go through hard times and have crap days now and then. Even I do. So, of course, there are going to be unavoidable things in life that will happen to everyone, such as loss, grief, and other life events. This is why I do all of this work along with you all. And last fall, I actually went through a really tough time. I was at a crossroads about a couple of things personally, which I'm glad to say are now resolved. My parents were dealing with illnesses, and it just seemed like there was so much going on. I did start to feel a little bit overwhelmed. So I really had to bring some of the tools and practices that I teach and put them into action. And it was a great reminder for me that this stuff works, right? Because when I do put them into play, I'm always so happily surprised by, wow, this is such good, powerful stuff. I do actually put all the things I talk about into action in my own life. So last fall was a hard time for me, but I got through it using a lot of these techniques and the three that we're going to talk about on today's show. So there was just a lot of really negative stuff coming at me all at once. Can you relate when you feel like the wheels are coming off? And as I like to say, sometimes life doesn't just throw you lemons, it throws you grenades. So what are some of the best strategies to stay as happy as possible and as healthy as possible when times are hard and stressful? And I emphasize healthy because stress really does take a toll on our physical bodies in addition to our mental wellness, right? And we have to be very careful to take care of that so that we don't bring on illnesses and stress our immune systems. So there are a number of tools and ideas that I like to use to help me during challenging times. By the way, you just heard a bell ring behind me a minute ago. That was my front door opening, my husband coming in. So we have a bell on the door. My dog, Mai Tai, is trained to ring the bell when she wants to go outside. And when it's a great thing, but the one drawback is anytime someone opens and closes the door, it rings this bell, which can be a little bit annoying. But that's what that is. That's Mai Tai's bell, which is kind of cute. I know someday I will be glad for that memory of that bell ringing, even when I didn't want it to, right? So the things we're going to talk about, the three things we're going to talk about on today's show really are foundational and they can make a tremendous difference. I do encourage you to take notes, but just write down these three things, put them on a sticky note somewhere or put them on a piece of paper where you have them in a drawer and you can go be reminded of these calls to action when you need them in your life. So here are three of my favorites. And like I mentioned, they are foundational. And these are also things we're going to be diving deeper into within the Joy School membership. So I'm excited for that. And here's one thing I know for sure. When things aren't going your way, there will always be another path, a better way. It just may not be clear immediately. And that's the part that stinks, right? When we're just not clear how things are going to get better or how things are going to heal. But they do and they will. And the key is to trust and stay open and love yourself through all of it, to give yourself lots of grace and lots of compassion. All right, with that, here are the three things to do when times are tough and you're feeling stressed. And these are things that really help to get you through it. Number one is step into big time self-care mode. Now, we should always be emphasizing self-care in our life and be in self-love mode as much as possible as a regular practice. But when things get tough, a big extra dose of self-care can make a huge difference for your health, happiness, and sanity, right? Just leveling it up can make all the difference. So don't just do one yoga class if yoga is your thing, or massage, or a long walk in nature, or whatever it is that gives you energy. Do many of them. Indulge without guilt. Put these things on your calendar and in your schedule and indulge as often as you feel called. Take a mental health day and disappear for a few hours. And trust me, the world will not end if you do this. Take a hot bath if that works for you. Call some friends that make you laugh. Watch a favorite TV show with a ginormous bowl of your favorite comfort food. Mine is macaroni and cheese or sushi, either one of those, great comfort food. But focus your energy on treating yourself with extreme kindness, extreme compassion, and extreme love. This will not only help you release anxiety and stress and bounce back faster, it will also help you stay strong, positive, and productive through the storm. And these pauses can also help bring you some clarity and perspective on whatever your situation is at the time, right? And you will feel better physically. When you push yourself to take action, you may even receive supportive messages from the universe if you're open to them that can help guide you. So here's a funny story. Some of you might have heard this one before, but about 10 or so years ago when I was going through my divorce, it was a really tough time in my life. I was so heartbroken. I was so devastated. I could not see beyond the next day or two in front of me. I couldn't see where my life was going. It felt like a big black hole because everything had been ripped away from me. It was a terrible time. And there was one morning when I just couldn't bring myself to get out of bed, but I knew I had to. And so I thought, not only do I need to make myself get out of bed and take a shower, I need a blast of health and nutrition in my body to keep my immune system up, right? So I took a shower, put on my sweats, and I dragged myself down to this great little cafe near my house where they have beautiful organic green juices. And I walked up to the counter and I said to the girl behind the counter, do you have something with spinach and kale and lemon that is like a real blast of nutrition? And she said, we sure do. It's called the Learn to Let Go. Now, the irony in the name of that exact green juice drink that I needed for that day really cracked me up. Actually, it literally cracked me up. I kind of had this goofy laugh at the name of this drink, Learn to Let Go, because it was just so ironic. But the smile it brought to my face also brought perspective. It was like, be open to messages from the universe. You are supported in ways that you don't even realize. Know that in your heart and keep going, right? So stay focused on this extreme self-care mission until you feel things begin to shift. But even after that, continue the self-care practices that are working for you as much as you need them and make them into new habits. So speaking of green juice, here's tip number 2, and that is go into super healthy eating overdrive. Now, what you eat has a tremendous impact on how you feel. It affects your anxiety levels, your brain chemistry, your happiness levels, your immune system, and of course, your physical and emotional energy. And when things are stressful, your body needs extra support in so many ways. Now, I generally work to eat super healthy most of the time. I pretty much follow the 80-20 rule in that area, which I really believe in. You've got to have a little bit of indulgence to enjoy life. That's what makes life full. But also, I've learned to really enjoy healthy foods. When you get on track with eating healthfully and eating clean, other things really just don't taste good to you anymore. The healthy stuff, you start to crave it and it tastes amazing and you learn what you like that's also super good for you. So I'm all about greens, smoothies, organic nuts, celery juice, which sounds so much worse than it actually is. Trust me on that one. It sounds kind of gross to some people, but it's actually really good, especially if you like salty things, which I tend to be a little bit of a saltaholic. I try to go easy on it, but I like things that taste salty that don't actually have a ton of salt in them. Celery juice is one of those. And other healthy, good stuff, right? I keep my pantries full as much as I can with snacks and things that are good for me, that support my health and my energy, because I just feel good when I stick to these things. But I'm not always perfect in this area, and that's okay. I sometimes like to indulge in carbs or sweets. I have a cupcake weakness, not gonna lie. I love a cupcake now and then. And it's done in a very mindful way though, and in a limited way, but I still enjoy. But when times get tough, I amp up the clean eating to a new level to compensate for the extra stress my body is experiencing. So I really try to level it up to more like 90-10 rather than 80-20. And just that shift makes the difference. I also make sure not to miss my supplements. And definitely, if you haven't done this already, talk to your doctor about what supplements might be beneficial to you. I love a B complex. It really gives me energy to the point where I can tell when I haven't taken it. A high quality B complex is one of my go-tos. I love a food-based organic multi. And I also, in addition to taking my supplements, have cut out most sugar. Not all. You need a little bit of sugar, but I don't do added sugar. I've cut out most sugar, but some natural sugars I enjoy. And I, during stressful times, double up on the healthy salads and the water with lemon, which is very cleansing and hydrating. It's very important to stay hydrated as well. It helps your body function. It helps your body process the stress and any negative feelings and keeps you from getting headaches, which can be brought on by tension as well. And if you're hydrated, it reduces that risk. I happen to get migraines now and then. And I know that like 7 out of 10 times, part of the reason was because I wasn't drinking enough water. So this all helps me stay healthier, get through the tough times. But it also, and this is a big benefit, gives me the great feeling of taking charge of something that I can control instead of focusing on the stuff I can't, right? Because you can't always control everything when things are stressful and some things are out of your hands. But focusing on taking excellent care of yourself, your self-care and your nutrition and healthy eating gives you something that you are in complete control over, which is very empowering. All right, so that brings me to number 3. Step outside of your regular routine and your regular zones. Do something different to change up the energy. And it doesn't have to be anything huge, dramatic, or requiring a ton of effort. It can be something small. Like one of my favorite tools when I feel blue or stressed out is just to jump up and dance around the room for a couple of minutes, or blast some disco music and just jump around, right? Or a little Beastie Boys. I love the Beastie Boys. And they follow me on Twitter. I swear the day they followed me on Twitter, it like made my day. But anyway, back to the tip. So I smile also while I'm doing this because some of you have heard me talk about this, but the physical act of smiling triggers your brain to think, oh, there's something good happening right now. And it will release the supportive chemicals that make you feel better and more optimistic. So smiling for 30 to 60 seconds while you're dancing around the room or while you're doing a quick 1 or 2 minute meditation, whatever it is to change up your energy and do something different outside of your regular routine is super helpful. And all of this is also really great for busting afternoon fatigue too. So even if you're not extra stressed out or going through something tough, this is a great practice to do to bust fatigue, give yourself energy, and just change up the energy whenever you need to. And that's really the whole idea, to just create a shift. And this can also bring new perspective on any situation. Sometimes you'll have an aha moment just because you changed up the energy. So I encourage you to invite that in. If you feel inspired, feel free to make an epic change of energy if that's what's calling you. If you've got the energy and the time and the budget, you can do something crazy. Like I once booked a last minute trip, literally last minute, like same day to Honolulu, where I spent 4 days. I brought my laptop and one duffel bag and was able to work on the trip. And I had the best time. It changed my energy. It felt so great to get some sunshine and vitamin D along with some vitamin C as in SEA. Hawaii is one of my favorite places in the world. And I came back renewed and ready to handle what was waiting for me. Now, if that's not in your budget or you haven't got the time, you don't have to do something that big. Just shake things up in some way. Get creative and think of something that will change the energy and change your environment for a little while. Go to a museum, go to a local botanical garden, whatever it is to shift things up, create an experience for yourself outside of what you've been experiencing. It can make all the difference. A drive, a run, call a friend and schedule a lunch date, whatever it is, whatever feels good to you, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what matters. So with all three of these tips, number one, amp up your self-care. Number two, go into super healthy eating mode. Number three, step outside of your regular zone. With all of those things, the whole idea is to get to feeling better, to feeling the way you want to feel, to shifting the energy to help support you in getting through whatever it is you're facing at that time, right? All right. So that brings me to the part of the show called Joy School Habits, where I share a new, small and doable habit that will add more joy to your life and support you in creating your best life. So, as I mentioned earlier in the show, snail mail is a bit of a lost art. So I want to challenge you, if you don't already, to start sending cards in the mail to people that you care about, to people that you're grateful to people that you love, or to people that you know are going through a hard time. Everything is so electronic these days, and a lovely text from a friend is awesome, but getting a paper handwritten card in the mail, you can't even top it. It's the best thing ever. And you will not only make someone's day, it will actually make your day. The feeling you'll get knowing that you lifted somebody up and the feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment that you'll get when you stick that card in the mailbox is so great. It just feels good to send things to people that you care about, to let people know you're thinking of them, and to do it in this kind of old school way where you're handwriting it and actually sticking a stamp on the envelope and putting it in the mail is such a beautiful thing. And I admit I have never been the best at this. And so this is a challenge I'm also giving to myself this year. I have committed to one random card a month, and I've been sticking to that, whether it's a thank you card, a birthday card, a thinking of you card, and it's slowly becoming a habit that I'm really liking, and I'm hoping to increase it to more than once a month. But it is becoming much more of my regular schedule. So I challenge you to surprise someone by sending one handwritten card out over this next week, and then try to make it a regular thing if you don't already. One thing that helps me is I actually put it on my calendar. I keep a paper calendar. I'm a little bit old school that way, but I love a paper calendar. I also keep a Google calendar, but I love my paper calendar, and I handwrite on there who I'm going to send to, and I put it on a date, and I really try to stick to it. And I'm taking this whole snail mail concept, as I mentioned earlier, to the next level with the welcome gifts for the first opening of the Joy School. Like I mentioned, members who joined during the initial launch are going to get an awesome gift package in the actual mail. I love this idea so much, and this was so important to me because I think tangible acknowledgments are such a nice way to connect and show you care, right? So if you haven't already, jump over to jointhejoyschool.com, put your name on that waiting list there, and you'll also get your access to that free gift that's waiting for you there, and you'll be the first to know when the doors open. All right. And that's it for today's show. I hope this has served you. If you enjoyed this episode, I would be so grateful if you would leave a review over on Apple Podcasts. This is how you can help the show reach more people who might also enjoy it. And I read them all. Here's a quick shout out, actually, to listeners Steve T., Panda-ish, and Beth Buddha, who all recently left 5-star reviews. Thank you all so much. I'm so grateful, and thank you for listening. And be sure to go connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and you can visit my website, ChristyLingSpencer.com, where you can download some free gifts and read my blog. And that workshop I mentioned earlier is there as well. Sending you so much love, and until next time, remember, you've got what it takes to create more amazing days, and more amazing days make up a pretty great life. Have a fantastic week, my beautiful friends, and I will be back with you soon. Cheers.